All right. For the first 10 problems here, they're all very similar, okay? And they're all going to ask you the slope of a line perpendicular to a line, and they're going to give you an equation, and you need to find the slope of a line that would be perpendicular to this line. And if you need to look up, let me just sharpen this. If you want to know what index cards you'd have to know for this, it would be number 149 through 151. Alright, those are the study cards that you would need to know. In fact, let's put that on the bottom left corner somewhere. Down here, I would put 149 through 151. Okay? So I'm going to solve these problems, all right, and you're going to follow along. Actually, what you should do is solve them on your own, and if you get stuck, then you should go back and look at how I did it, okay? And you should also check just to make sure you got the right answer for each one. So I'm starting with the equation that they gave me, 5x plus 3y equals 8. I need the slope. I can't figure out the slope until it's in y equals mx plus b form. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. So I got 3y equals, now I'm going to put the negative 5x first because I want this to be in y equals mx plus b form. And then I'll put the 8 next. Now I need to divide everything by 3. And I got y equals negative 5 thirds x plus 8 thirds. Okay? So I want the negative reciprocal of the slope. So the negative reciprocal of negative 5 over 3 is 3 over 5. Okay? And this right here was where I got my negative 5 thirds from. This is my slope. And to check, you got to make sure that the two of these multiply to give you negative 1. So negative 5 over 3 times 3 over 5 equals negative 15 over 15 equals negative 1. So it checks. So my answer is 3 over 5. It's choice 2. Okay? Let's look at number 2. Same problem. This time we have a different equation. Y equals negative 2 thirds x minus 5. This one is really easy because it's already in y equals mx plus b form. So here's my slope. Alright, so the negative reciprocal of negative 2 over 3 is positive 3 over 2. And I can check that by multiplying them together and seeing if I get negative 1, which I do. So remember, negative reciprocal means change the sign of the slope and flip it. Alright, so I flipped it and I changed the sign. It went from negative to positive, and it went from 2 thirds to 3 halves. Okay, next one. What is the slope of a line that is perpendicular to the line whose equation is 3x plus 4y equals 12? Subtract 3x. We got to put it in y equals mx plus b form. 4y equals negative 3x plus 12. Divide everything by 4. Y equals negative 3 fourths x plus 3. Here's my slope. So the negative reciprocal of negative 3 over 4 is 4 over 3. Alright, and I want to double check that by making sure that they multiply to give me negative 1. Okay? Answer is 3. Just see if yep. Number 4. Same type of problem. Okay, you could see that the Regents exam likes to give you this problem. y equals 3x plus 4. Look, it's already in y equals mx plus b form. So the negative reciprocal of 3 is really 3 over 1, right? We want it as a fraction, is negative 1 over 3. So 3 over 1 times negative 1 over 3 equals negative 3 over 3 equals negative 1. It checks. It's negative 1/3. Okay, we got an equation here. It's not in y equals mx plus b form, so let's put it into y equals mx plus b form. Now I have my slope is negative 3. So the negative reciprocal of, write it as a fraction, negative 3 over 1, is 1 over 3. Let's check that. Negative 3 over 1 times 1 over 3 equals negative 3 over 3 equals negative 1. It checks. Choice 3. Okay, same type of problem. 3x plus 5y equals 4. Subtract 3x from both sides. 5y equals, I'm going to put the 3x part first. Divide everything by 5. Y equals negative 3/5 x plus 4/5. Here's my m. So the negative reciprocal of negative 3 over 5 is 5 over 3. Let's check that. Negative 3 over 5 times 5 over 3 is negative 15 over 15, which is negative 1. It checks. Choice 4. What is the slope of a line that's perpendicular to the line represented by the equation x plus 2y equals 3? Same type of problem over and over again. Negative x plus 3, put the x part first, divide everything by 2. You get y equals, this is negative 1/2 x plus 3/2. Here's my slope. So the negative reciprocal of negative 1/2 is 2 over 1, right? Which is just 2. So let's check. Negative 1/2 times 2 over 1 equals negative 2 over 2 equals negative 1. Okay? So my answer is 2 over 1, which is just 2. Choice 2. We have 20x minus 2y equals 6. Subtract 20x. Negative 2y equals negative 20x plus 6. Divide by negative 2. We get y equals 10x minus 3. Here's my slope. The negative reciprocal of 10 over 1 is negative 1 over 10. Let's check. 10 over 1 times negative 1 over 10 equals negative 10 over 10 equals negative 1. It checks. So it's negative 1/10. Two more like this to go. The slope of line L is negative 1/3. What is an equation of a line that is perpendicular to line L? So we're looking for one So the negative reciprocal of negative 1/3 is 3 over 1, which equals 3. So this is the slope that we're looking for, right? So let's take the first question, the first answer. Y plus 2 equals 1/3 x. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Y equals 1/3 x minus 2. Okay? This was choice 1. It's not choice 1. Let's try choice 2. Negative 2x plus 6 equals 6y. I'm going to add 2x, subtract 6 from both sides. And I'm going to, alright, let's see what I get here. I get 0 equals 6y plus 2x minus 6, subtract 6y from both sides. I get negative 6y equals 2x minus 6, divide both sides by negative 6. See how I divide everything by negative 6? I get y equals negative 1/3 x plus 1. It's not the second one either. Let's look at the third one. 9x minus 3y equals 27. Subtract 9x. Divide by negative 3. There it is. Okay? That's what we were looking for, and that's what we found. So it's choice 3. Okay, this is your standard equation. Standard question on this type of thing, back to the normal. Here's my m, the negative reciprocal of 3 over 1, whoops, is negative 1 over 3. We can check by doing 3 over 1 times negative 1 over 3, and it's negative 3 over 3, and that's negative 1. So I've boxed off my answer here, negative 1/3. Alright, so that's it for that type of problem. Okay, now the next type of problem, there's 10 questions on this too. It's number 11 through 20. And these are all the same. Alright, it wants to know if the two lines are parallel, perpendicular, if they're the same line, or if they're neither parallel nor perpendicular. So we have to look at their slopes. Okay? If the slopes are the same, then the lines are parallel. If they're negative reciprocals, the lines are perpendicular. If the slopes and the y-intercept is the same, then it's the same line. And if none of those cases, if the slope is not the negative reciprocal and also not equal, then it's neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay? And you'll need to know cards, let's see, 149 through 152. So let's put that at the bottom. Okay? And now let's solve these problems. Let me just sharpen my pencil. Alright. 2 equations. We have to find the slope of both of them. So first I'm going to do it to the first one. We're going to get it in y equals mx plus b form, because that's the only way that we can pick out the slope. So here's my slope. Okay. So the answer is neither. They're not equal nor negative recips. So neither. Answer 4. See that? They're reciprocals, right? But they're not negative reciprocals. So that means they're not perpendicular. And they're not equal, so that means they're not parallel. All right? And for it to be choice 3, they would have to be equal, and you would have to have the same y-intercept. Okay? So that's if they're not parallel, then they're definitely not the same line. All right? So the only choice is choice 4. They're neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay. So we want a line that's perpendicular to this line. Yeah. So that means that we need to find the slopes once again. So we got to do y equals mx plus b. I got y equals negative 2/3 x plus 4. So my m is negative 2/3. Okay? So which one is perpendicular? So the negative reciprocal of negative 2/3 is 3/2. That's what we're looking for. Okay? Let's look at choice 1. 6y equals negative 4x plus 12 divided by 6. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 2. So my m is negative 2/3, so it's not that one. Let's look at choice 2. 2y equals 3x plus 6. I'm dividing by 2. There it is. My m is 3/2. It's choice 2. Okay? Now we want, let's go back to this one. Let's circle perpendicular. That's what they wanted, right? This time they want parallel to this line. So if I have y equals x plus 2, there's really a 1 there. So I'm looking for which equation has the same slope, because parallel lines have the same slope. So if I look at number 1, it's not that one, right? That's a negative 1. Number 2, 2x plus y equals negative 2. My slope is negative 2 for this one. It's not that. There it is. Okay? Choice 3. They have the same slope. Again, parallel. 2y minus 5x equals 10. Add 5x to both sides, you get 2y equals 5x plus 10. Divide by 2. Y equals 5/2 x plus 5. My m is 5/2, my slope. So I'm looking for something that has a slope of 5/2. So I'll take number 1. 5y minus 2x equals 25. Add 2x to both sides. 5y equals 2x plus 25. Divide by 5. Y equals 2/5 x plus 5. It's not choice 1. Number 2. 5y plus 2x equals 10. Subtract 2x. 5y is negative 2x plus 10. Divide by 5. Y is negative 2/5 x plus 2. It's not that one. Okay, you see what we're doing here? We're just going one at a time. There's no shortcut. It would be nice if it was the first one, but you should check them all anyway. Just make sure you didn't make a mistake. That's what you would do at the end. You'd go back and check each one because you have 3 hours to take the test. Okay? 10/4 is 5/2, right? There's your answer. Okay, parallel, the slopes have to be equal. 5/2, 5/2. The slopes are equal. Okay? You have to know how to reduce. If you don't, you better stay after for extra help. Alright, so we want them to be parallel. That means they have to have the same slope. So if we figure out the slope of this line, then we know what m has to equal, because it has to equal the slope of this line. So if I have negative 1/2 y equals 6x plus 10, I'm going to multiply this whole equation by negative 2. Alright, that makes this y equals negative 12x minus 20. Okay, because negative 2 times negative 1/2, that's 1. Alright, so I'm just left with y. So here's what my slope should be. So that's what y equals mx should be. Choice 1. Okay, parallel. Let's just go back to number 1 real quick. And you should really circle these. Okay, perpendicular, what they're asking you for, because this is the key to the question, is what are they talking about here? They're talking, the first 10 I think were all perpendicular. Alright, but you should really learn to circle the key words in the problem, because it'll make you avoid making mistakes. Because when you're under the pressure of a Regents exam, right, and you've been studying like crazy, and now you have this 3-hour exam that determines so much of your future, you don't want to be making stupid mistakes, especially when you know how to do a problem. Alright, so you just circle keywords and you read the question over a bunch of times. I think we got the rest of them. Okay, let's go to the next one. 16. By the way, every one of these are Regents questions, right? So the lines represented by these two equations are, it wants to know what they are. So we got to check their slopes. So y plus 1/2 x equals 4. Subtract 1/2 x on both sides. You get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. Here's my slope, negative 1/2. Now let's look at my next equation. 3x plus 6y equals 12. Subtract 3x. 6y equals negative 3x plus 12. Divide by 6. I get y equals negative 1/2. I'm reducing, right? X plus 2. Here's my m. Negative 1/2. So, since slopes are equal, lines are parallel. Okay? So, it's choice 2. 17. Ooh, we have to actually go back to that one real quick, because they could be the same line if they have the same y-intercept. Here's the y-intercept, and here's the y-intercept, and they're different. So since different y-int, not same line. Okay? Alright, so let's do the same thing to these two. X plus, because it's asking you the same question. 6y equals negative x plus 12. Whoops, did we circle? Yeah, we didn't have to. Okay. We don't have to for this one either. Y equals negative 1/6 x plus 2. Here's my slope. Here's my second equation. Distribute, right? 3x minus 6 equals negative y minus 4. I'm going to subtract 3x and add 6 to both sides. I get 0 equals negative y minus 3x plus 2. Right? The plus 6 and the minus 4 become a plus 2. Now I'm going to add y to both sides to bring my y back to the right side, to the left side. So y is negative 3x plus 2. Here's my slope. Okay? So, not equal and not negative reciprocals. So not parallel, not perpendicular, and not same line. Alright? So the only other choice is choice 4. Okay, which basically is the neither choice. Okay? Neither. The equation of line K is y equals 1/3 x minus 2. The equation of line M is negative 2x plus 6y equals 18. Lines K and M are, so we do the same thing. I'm reducing, right? Same slope, so parallel, okay? And different y-intercept, so not same line. Here's the y-intercept of this one, here's the y-intercept of this one. They're different, so it's not the same line. They're just parallel. Alright? Probably just want to go back. Just to this one and underline not same line. Okay, number 19. Okay, so y equals 2x plus 3. My m equals 2. Then I have 2y plus x equals 6. I'm just getting this in y equals mx plus b form. That's a negative 1/2 x plus 3. So my slope is negative 1/2. Okay? These are negative reciprocals, so they're perpendicular. And we can check because 2 over 1 times negative 1/2 is negative 2 over 2 is negative 1. Alright, so because we have to justify, right? Since the slopes of the lines are negative reciprocals, the lines are perpendicular. That's it. Last one of this type. Two lines are represented by the equations x plus 2y equals 4. I'm just going to do the slope right away because I know I need to do that. I'm going to put it in y equals mx plus b form and get the slope. Okay. Okay. So not equal and not negative reciprocals. So neither parallel nor perpendicular. So the two lines these slopes we're justifying now. The slopes of the two lines are not equal and are not negative reciprocals. So the lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. Okay? Neither or neither. Alright, that's the first 20 problems. Let's see here what we got next. Okay. So all of the next couple of problems are, you need to study cards you need to know 149 through 150, and hang on a second. I thought I would have put that on a separate card. Yeah. 149 through 150, which is just your basic line information. And then you would not want to know 154. No. Perpendicular is 153. Okay? Let me just take a look at what I told you to do for the last 10 here. Alright. So this one really, the number 11 should be 1 through 49 through 150, end card 152. Okay? And then this one is 149 through 150, end card 153. This is number 21, and this is the same as 21 through 26 are all the same deal. Okay? So, let's do those. We want the equation of a line that passes through the point -2, 5 and is perpendicular to the line whose equation is y equals 1/2 x plus 5. So we start with the equation. And if the two lines are perpendicular, that means that they have to have slopes that are negative reciprocals. So the slope of our given line is 1/2. And the negative reciprocal of 1/2 is -2/1, which equals -2. So that's one piece of information, right? As a matter of fact, let's box that off since that's one of our most important pieces of information. Okay? So now we have the equation of a line, right? Y equals mx plus b. And we have this point, -2, 5, and this is our x and our y. And our slope is -2. So we plug all those values in. 5 equals -2 times -2 plus b. 5 equals 4 plus b. Whoops. Subtract 4. And now you can see we find the y-intercept. B equals 1. So the equation of our line is y equals mx plus b, and we just found our b is 1. So we can just plug in our m, which was -2 right here, and our b, which was 1. So y equals -2x plus 1. Okay? So, same deal, different equation. Y equals -3x plus 2. My m is -3. And since I want a perpendicular line, I need to find the negative reciprocal of -3/1. Is 1/3. So I have my 3, -1, which is my xy. I have my slope, which is 1/3. I just need to find b. So I can plug in all my values to find my b. 1/3 times 3 is 1, by the way. Here's my b. My b is -2. So now I can write down the equation of my line. Y equals, my m is 1/3 x. My m is 1/3, then I have x, and my b is -2. So I'm not going to put plus a -2, I'm just going to put -2. Okay? perpendicular to the line whose equation is, so we got perpendicular again, same type of problem. They like to give you this problem. 3/5 x minus 2. Here is my slope. But I want the negative reciprocal of this slope because I want a perpendicular line. And a perpendicular line will have the negative reciprocal of that slope. So I got this point 3 comma negative 6, which is my x and y. I got my m now, which is negative 5/3. I just need to find my b. So y equals mx plus b. Negative 6 equals negative 5/3 times 3 plus b. Negative 6 equals negative 5 plus b. Right? The 3's cancel. Add 5. Add 5. b equals negative 1. There's my b. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals negative 5/3 x minus 1. Negative 5/3 minus 1. Okay? See how the two equations, the slopes are negative reciprocals? I know they're perpendicular. Sharpen my pencil. 24. What is the equation of the line that passes through the point negative 9 comma 6 and is perpendicular again to the line whose equation is y equals 3x minus 5. Here is my slope. So the negative reciprocal of 3, which is really 3 over 1, is negative 1/3. But I'm supposed to be boxing that, aren't I? Negative 1/3. So I got negative 9 comma 6, which is my x and y. I got my m, which is negative 1/3. I still need my b. I can find that by using y equals mx plus b. Y is 6. M is negative 1/3. X is negative 9. 6 equals, this turns out to be 3 plus b minus 3 minus 3. B is 3. Now I have everything that I need to write the equation of my perpendicular line. I have my slope, which is negative 1/3, and I have my b, which is 3. Okay, same deal. Perpendicular runs through this point. 2y equals x plus 2. Okay, divide by 2. Y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Here's my slope. So the negative reciprocal of 1/2 is negative 2 over 1, which equals negative 2. My point is 4 comma 3. That's my x and y. And my m is negative 2. I just need to find my b. So I just plug everything into my equation for a line. 3 equals negative 2 times 4 plus b. 3 equals negative 8 plus b. Add 8. Add 8. b equals 11. I have everything I now need to write the perpendicular equation. Y equals negative 2x plus 11. And my final problem, that is just like the last 5. Again, perpendicular. I have 2y plus 3x equals 6. Let's subtract 3x from both sides. 2y equals negative 3x plus 6. Let's divide by 2. We're getting it into y equals mx plus b form here. Otherwise, we don't know what the slope is. There's my slope. So the negative reciprocal of negative 3/2 is 2/3. Here's my point, 6, 5, x and y. I know my slope is 2/3, but what is my b? Well, I can find that by plugging those values into the equation of a line. 5 equals 2/3 times x is 6 plus b. 5 equals 12 over 3 is 4 plus b. Subtract 4. b equals 1. Now I can write the equation of my perpendicular line. 2/3 x plus 1. Okay. Now, the next few problems, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, all the way through to 36. So from 27 to 36, I need to know cards 149 through 150, which is my basic slope and equation of a line information. And then more specifically, 154. Okay? Which talks about a parallel line, finding the equation of a parallel line when you're given the equation of another line and a point that the line you're trying to find goes through, which sounds confusing, but it really isn't if you just think about it. Okay. This time, keyword, parallel. So the slopes are equal. Give me 1 second. The process is exactly the same. The slopes are just equal this time. They're not negative reciprocals. So it's even a little easier. So 2x minus y equals 4. Subtract 2x. We get minus y equals negative 2x plus 4. But we have to divide everything by negative 1. Now we get y equals 2x minus 4. Here's my slope. Okay, I can box that off. Here's my point, which is my x and my y, and my slope I already know is 2. See, I didn't have to do the negative reciprocal because these lines are parallel. That means the slopes are the same. I still don't know my b though. I have to find it doing the same exact procedure that I've been doing. Plugging it into y equals mx plus b. M is 2, x is negative 3, and plus b is what I'm looking for. Negative 3 equals negative 6 plus b. Add 6 to both sides. Lo and behold, b is negative 5. Now I can write the equation of my line, which is parallel to this line, and it goes through this point, which is very nice. Y equals, my m is 2, and my b is minus 5. That's it. Whoops, I probably should have been circling the correct answer. Which will only take me a second. So if I go back to 21, it was y equals minus 2x plus 1. Choice 2. 22, 1/3 x minus 2. Choice 4. 23 was negative 5/3 x minus 1. Choice 3. 24 was negative 1/3 x plus 3. Choice 4. 25 was negative 2x plus 11, choice 3. And 26 was 2/3 x plus 1, but that was not a multiple choice problem. 27 was, though, and it's 2x minus 5, so it means it's choice 2. 28. Same problem. Here's our point, parallel to this line. So I start with this line. 4x plus 2y equals 10. I subtract and get it into y equals mx plus b form, so I can see my slope. That's the only way that you can see the slope of your line. That's why you have to do this over and over again. Otherwise you don't know what your slope is. Since the lines are parallel, I'm using that slope, negative 2. So I have my xy point, which is really nice, and my slope is negative 2. I just don't know my b. But I know everything else in the formula y equals mx plus b, so I can find my b. 3 equals negative 2 times 7 plus b. 3 equals negative 14 plus b. Let's add 14 to both sides. To find out what is b, it's 17. Big number. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals, my slope is negative 2, x plus 17. Wow. I got to do it a little slower here. That's choice 4. 29, same deal, parallel to this line. N goes through this point, so I use the slope of this line. What's nice about this one, hopefully by this point you realize you don't have to rearrange it. It's already in y equals mx plus b form. I'm using this slope because the lines are parallel. That means they have the same slope. So what I have is my point, which is nice. It gives me my x and my y. I have my slope. I just need my b. And I can use this formula for the equation of a line to find my b. 3 equals, m is 3 halves, times x is negative 2 plus b. 3 equals, if you multiply this, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3 plus b. Add 3 to both sides to find out what b is. B is 6. Now I have everything I need for the equation of my parallel line. Y equals 3 halves x plus 6. 4. We're getting there. Parallel to this line whose equation is 4x. Unfortunately, I have to rearrange this one, right? Sometimes they're nice, sometimes they're not. 3y equals negative 4x plus 7. Y equals negative 4/3 x plus 7/3. There's the slope I'm looking for. And because these lines are parallel, that is the slope that my parallel line is going to have. So I have this point, which I can plug into x and y, and I have my slope. I just don't have my b, but I'm going to find that right now. Oh, y equals mx plus b. Y is 2 equals m is negative 4/3 times x is negative 5 plus b. Wow, this one is really ugly. Okay? 2 equals 20/3 plus b. I got to subtract 20/3 from both sides. That's not fun. B equals 2 I could put down as 6/3 minus 20/3. You see what I did? It's 2 minus 20/3. But they have to have the same denominator, so I turned 2 into 6/3. So now B is equal to negative 14/3. Man, they really didn't like you on this problem. So y equals mx plus b. They did something even worse to you after this. Y equals negative 4/3 x minus 14/3. Look what they did though. That's not a choice, right? We have to go through each answer and rearrange it into y equals mx plus b until we find this exact same answer. So let's look at choice 1. 4x plus 3y equals negative 26. Subtract 4x. 3y equals negative 4x minus 26. Divide by 3. And it's not this one. It's close though, right? They have the same slope, but they don't have the same y-intercept, so it's not this one. Number 2. 4x plus 3y equals negative 14. Subtract 4x. Hopefully it's this one so we can stop and go to the next problem. 3y equals negative 4x minus 14. Divide by 3. I think we're in luck. We are. Y equals negative 4/3 x minus 14/3. Choice 2 is it. Okay? Alright. Sorry, I just had to answer that phone call. Alright. Where were we? Right, we just finished this one. This one was horrible. This was a horrible problem that they gave you this type of a problem. Can't believe they did that for a multiple choice 2-point problem. That's ridiculous. But anyway, it wasn't hard. It was just a little much. Okay, same deal. Parallel to this equation, 4x plus 2y equals 14. So let's just throw this right into y equals mx plus b form. Hopefully you're doing this as fast as I am by this point, because you need to know how to do this over and over and over again. There it is, slope. And it's going to be the same slope because the lines are parallel. That's why we're not looking for the negative reciprocal here. So I have 2 comma 2. That's the point that the line goes through, so I can use that as my xy. Then I have my slope is negative 2. What I'm trying to find is b first. Then I can write the equation. So 2 equals negative 2 times 2 plus b. 2 equals negative 4 plus b. Add 4. B equals 6. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals negative 2x plus 6. Choice 2. 32. What is the equation of a line passing through 2, negative 1 and parallel to the line represented by the equation y equals 2x plus 1? Wow, they were really nice to us here. They already put it in y equals mx plus b form. Saves us some time. Choice 3. Okay. 33. I think there's 4 more, including this one. Same problem. 2y plus 3x equals 8. Subtract 3x from both sides. 2y equals negative 3x plus 8. Divide by 2. Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 4. My m is negative 3 halves. My point, 2 comma negative 1, x and y. M is negative 3 halves. B is what I want to find next. You can't write the equation without the slope and the y-intercept. That's why we're finding B. Negative 1 equals negative 3 halves times x is 2 plus b. So negative 1 equals, the 2's can cancel, I get negative 3 plus b, add 3, add 3. B is 2. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals negative 3 halves x plus 2. Choice 4. Getting there, we're getting there. Okay. Same deal. They were nice to us again. I hope they do this to you guys on this Regents, but they probably won't. Ooh, they were a little nasty here. They're going to make you do some fraction stuff. Right? We got to subtract 3 halves from both sides. You guys get all panicky when you have to do this. I'm tutoring 6th graders who do this in like 2 seconds. So you should feel really bad if you can't do this just as quick as they can. I'm subtracting, I'm doing 2 minus 3 halves. I need the 2 to have a 2 as a denominator, so I'll make it 4 over 2, because that's 2. Now I can subtract my 3 halves. So b equals a half. And the 6th graders that I'm tutoring are struggling 6th graders. Okay, they're struggling 6th grade students, and they can do 2 minus 3 halves just as fast as I just did it. So that tells you what place you're at if you can't do it that fast. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals 3 halves x plus 1 half. Choice 1. Equation of a line passing through the point 5, 4 and parallel to the line whose equation is this. Now, this was not a multiple choice problem. This was one of the part 2, 3s, and 4s in the back. So you had to make sure you showed all your work really nicely. So here's my m, it's negative 2, that's what I'm looking for, okay, because it's parallel. Now here's my point, x and y. My m is negative 2, but what is my b? Let's find it. Now I can write my equation since I found my b. Y equals negative 2x plus 14. Last one of this type. Whew, okay. Again, parallel to the line whose equation is 2x minus 3y equals 11. So subtract 2x. Negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 11. Divide by negative 3. divide everything by negative 3, 2/3 x minus 11/3. Here's the slope I'm looking for. Give me 1 second. Okay, so we were solving this problem. We found the slope already. The lines are parallel, so the slopes are going to be equal. The point they gave us is 6, negative 5. I can use that for my x and y, and the slope that I found to find my b by plugging them all into y equals mx plus b. Negative 5 equals m is 2/3 times x is 6 plus b. Negative 5 equals 2 times 6 is 12, divided by 3 is 4 plus b. By the way, this is another problem that my struggling 6th grade kids that I'm tutoring can also do just as fast as I just did it. So you seriously better get some extra help if you can't do that in about a half a second. Minus 4, b equals, and these are Southampton kids, by the way. I'm not like talking about some other, this is your typical kids. Negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. Okay, so y equals mx plus b. Let's write down our equation. Y equals 2/3. See how I slow down at the very end here? I want to make sure I did everything right. I want to make sure I picked all the right numbers and everything looks like it makes sense. And I'm writing everything down nice and easy here. Now it's plus b, but I have a minus 9. So I'm just going to write that as minus 9 rather than doing plus negative 9, because this is the right way to do it. It's not multiple choice. I box off my answers. And that's it. It's not asking me to justify anything. It just is telling me to write an equation parallel to this equation going through this point. And that's exactly what I did. So I am now done with those types of problems.